Hello everybody, this is Chris with BEL Networks. This is a follow-up video to the OneDrive video I just made, and this one is covering SharePoint. So what SharePoint is, imagine it as your cloud document repository for a company. So you have OneDrive, and OneDrive is your personal documents, your Word documents, your pictures, your desktop. SharePoint is the company stuff. So if you have, let's say you have a server at your office and there's a folder in there called Company Share, and that's where you put all of the stuff that your HR documents and PTO requests and anything that you share with multiple people. SharePoint is that. SharePoint is your cloud server to put things in. Now, the funny thing about SharePoint and where a lot of people get tripped up is that SharePoint is actually synchronized through OneDrive. So in order for you to have SharePoint working on your computer, you need to have OneDrive working on your computer. So the first step is get set up OneDrive, back up all your stuff, and get all that going. And then you can mess with SharePoint. So we come back in here to www.office.com, and here's our main hub, which shows us all of our documents. And if you look at this little S in the cloud, this is SharePoint. So when you click into SharePoint, you now have your SharePoint site. Now, when you first come in here, you're not going to have all of this stuff. It's just going to be blank. But there's a couple of different things we can do. First, we can create a site. So imagine a site as one of two things. One, it can be an actual website for your company. So you can put documents there, you can share videos there, you can post news, you can recognize employees, put training, whatever you want to do. Or it can be a document repository, which is what most people use it for. So right up here, you just click Create Site, and now it asks you what kind of site you want to create. Communication site is what I was talking about with sharing stuff with your team in terms of announcements and videos and stuff like that. And a team site is more task oriented, more productivity oriented. So this is where you would do for sharing documents. So we'll create a team site, and I'm going to call this temporary. All right, so you can put in a description if you'd like, and you can change the privacy settings. The rest of the stuff I would probably just leave it alone. But public means that anyone in your organization can get to it. Private means that it's restricted based on permissions. And I'm going to leave it private, and I'll show you how to manage that in the next step. So right here it says, who do you want to add? And there's two ways to add people. You can add them as an owner. That means that they have full access, full edit to the whole site. So let's add Larry as an owner. And then members are people that can access the site, but they won't be able to do stuff like delete document repositories and change announcements and stuff. So we'll add Hillary in here. And then I hit finish, and it's going to take me right into my site. So here's my site, and this is like their default template for SharePoint. You can click this button to add news. Your documents are over here, and there's some quick links here that give you education on how to manage this and how to add people. Basically, if you wanted to add more people, you click up here where it says 3 members, and then you hit add member. Let's go ahead and add Nathan in and hit save. So now there's 4 members in the site. It's pretty easy. So this home page is editable by hitting this edit icon, and then all of these things become blocks that you can move around. So depending on what you're using this site for, you can edit the home page of the site. So I'm going to use this site just to share documents, so I want documents to be front and center. So I'm just going to drag this over and put this here, and I'm going to republish the site. And now when you come to the home page of this site, the first thing that you are going to see is all of the documents in the site. I don't really care about the news and all this other stuff. So you'll notice all these stuff over here. You can also click on this documents link to get to the document portion of the site. So this is your folder. Imagine this as a shared folder on your computer. You can create documents inside of it here by clicking this new button, and as you can see, it's going to let you create whatever you want. So we'll create a folder. We'll call this temporary PowerPoint. Alright, so I've created a folder called temporary PowerPoint. So now this is just like a folder as it would be in a share on your server. So I can go into the folder, and from here I can create files. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new PowerPoint presentation. So this is temp PowerPoint. So right here I add this. I'm gonna change the name of it. You change the name of it by clicking up here up top. And we'll call this temp. Okay, so this has been saved. So now I'm just going to go back to SharePoint. As you can see, here's my presentation. And there it is. It's been updated, created, and edited in the browser. Now let's say that I had something on my computer and I wanted to put it in here. I click this little upload button and I'm going to upload a file. And for this one, I will go into my PowerPoint. And as you can see, uploading one item into the folder. So this has now uploaded this document. So this is not a live connection between my computer and this document. This document was uploaded as a one-time thing. So now if you edit this, it's separate from what's on your computer. Multiple people can edit it, multiple people can download it. You can click these little dots to change your permissions and to do things to it and alert you if people change it. You get version history, so when people change it you can roll back their changes. And another important one is share. Now sharing from inside of SharePoint is vastly different than OneDrive. SharePoint sharing is meant to be internal only. You can create a SharePoint library that allows public access, but it's very non-standard. It would be like you giving someone access to a share that's on your server in your office. It's just really intended to be private data. If you want to share stuff externally, there's lots of tools to do that. And you can, like I said, you can do it with SharePoint, but it's best to keep SharePoint internal. So this is just like done with OneDrive. You type in somebody's name in your organization, it pulls up. So now Hillary's going to get this nicely worded email that says, hey, Chris Dill has a SharePoint library called Temporary, and he has shared a file with you, and he'll be able to edit it and access it and everything else. So all these other things are relatively self-explanatory. Anything you delete goes into the recycle bin. Pages or sub-pages, you can create actual document pages to your site. So instead of just a home page, it could have a links page with all of your important links, or it could have a contacts page with all your important contacts. Notebook is OneNote notebooks. So you can synchronize a OneNote notebook to a SharePoint site, and people can take notes. So you could have, let's say you're having a seminar and all of your staff is going to it, and you want them to all take their notes in a document repository that everybody has access to so everybody can see it. Well, stick it all into SharePoint. These are documents that have been shared from other people to this document library. Now, I will show you the last little complex thing here. So this SharePoint site exists only in the cloud now. I have a way to synchronize it down to my computer using OneDrive. So as you can see, here is my BELness OneDrive. It has the little cloud icon, OneDrive BEL Networks. There's another icon here that has a little building. This is a SharePoint synchronization. So what I do is I come to this library, I go to Documents, and I hit Sync. And it says, okay, we're going to sync this. And it opens up OneDrive, and it makes sure that you have permissions. And now, if I look back here, this temporary documents library is now synchronized to my computer, along with my temporary PowerPoint and my two files that I created. These exist in the cloud, not on my computer. But let's say I open this on my computer, you'll now see the synchronized status turns green right here. This document is now open on my computer and it's synchronized to SharePoint, meaning that if I make changes to this document and I save this document, those changes are immediately synchronized into SharePoint. You can see this little synchronization icon here. Now, if you look in this document here, this is a live update by me, and it's synchronized up. So anyone else that uses this SharePoint document library is going to have this updated version. So this is a really great way to share company stuff. So this is my company share. This is all things that me and all of the team collaborate on. This is information about all sorts of different software and internal documents, HR, flyers, all sorts of stuff. And I have this all synchronized to my computer. I don't have it saved to my computer because I don't need 30 gigs of company data on my computer. But I'll tell you what, if I ever need to get into these Huntress flyers, I come in here and I double click on it, and it now downloads that file from our company SharePoint to my computer using OneDrive, and it opens up the document in just a second. Now this file is on my computer, and there's a way to unsynchronize this stuff if you want. You right click on it, you hit free up space. What that does is it deletes your local copy but keeps it synchronized in the cloud. And then there's another option when you right click, you can say always keep on this device. That means that no matter what happens to a file, whether it's changed by someone else or synchronized by someone else, it's always going to be live updated to your computer. So let's say you have like a spreadsheet that you work on every single day. It's a great idea to hit always keep on this device because it's always going to keep that document 100% in sync and pull down all the changes and everything else. Beyond that, a lot of the other stuff, there's videos out there if you want a little bit more, if you want to elaborate a little bit more, but a majority of people will be using SharePoint libraries just like cloud file shares and synchronizing to them to their computer. So as you can see, it keeps like a little status of everything that's happening and like who's doing what and who's editing what. You can see where things are going and who's deleting documents. You can prevent documents from being deleted and that sort of thing. So now if you wanted to get back out of this library, this website, you would click on this SharePoint word up top, and now this takes you back out to all of your sites. So we have a whole bunch of sites here, and I can synchronize each and every one of these to my computer if I want. Let's say all of a sudden I'm going to be involved with marketing. Well, I just go into marketing and I go to documents, and I now hit sync, and it will open it up on OneDrive on my computer, and now I have the marketing repository on my computer, right, along with everything that entails. So it's really a powerful way to share bulk documents to the cloud, but at the end of the day, your usage of it is no different than you having a shared folder at your organization on your server, or you having a folder on your desktop. Let's say you have a folder now on your desktop called marketing, and you use it and other people need to access it. Well, turn it into a SharePoint document library and give the appropriate people access so that they can get to what they need to, or just put it up into SharePoint. The nice thing about this SharePoint, right, is if someone steals this computer from me, all this data is still here. I don't lose any of it. Let's say that you need to access something from home. You can synchronize a SharePoint library to home. If you're concerned if you're an employer and you're concerned with people doing that, we can control all of that. You can control that. You can say that, hey, my employees can synchronize this to their work PCs, but they can't even access it at home. They can't synchronize it to their cell phones. Whatever sort of security or restrictions you need to place, we can do it. And we also get pretty robust logging and version controlling. So like, I know sometimes a file will get modified or deleted by people, and on your local file server it's sort of hard to nail down what happened. Well, with SharePoint we get a full log of every access, every change, every delete. So if you said, hey, somebody deleted this really important file, we can tell you. First of all, we can pull it out of the trash can. Second of all, we can tell you exactly who did what, where, when, and why. It's really great visibility. Also, I mentioned this in the OneDrive video, SharePoint has a global search. It's awesome. It shares inside, it searches inside of all folders, it searches inside of documents. It is legit an amazing way. I mean, so we'll just search SharePoint here for temporary, and we'll see what it pulls up. Okay, it pulled up my library I just made, the notebook I made. It pulled up that folder I just made. It's pulling up all sorts of other stuff with the Word. I can sort it by files and look at just files. I can search for just sites. I can look for people with temporary in the name, news articles. I mean, it is really, really a very powerful search. Um, that's it. There is a ton of content out there about SharePoint. Microsoft has a whole training website dedicated to teaching you about SharePoint and showing you the intricacies and how to administrate SharePoint. There's also a lot of user published content on YouTube, lots of videos showing you how to use this and how to do this. If you're interested in learning more, if you have questions, please reach out to support@belness.com. If you want to get extended into the cloud, you're ready. Your organization's ready. I mean, we have had a lot of customers jump on this cloud, and it's great and it works well, and we use it internally, and everybody's on the same page. It's really, really awesome. So just reach out to us, and we can help you get set up with the necessary licensing, and help you get it pushed out to your servers, devices. Depending on your situation and what you use your server for, there very well may be a move in the next couple of years for a lot of organizations that are going to move strictly to the cloud and get rid of that capital expense of purchasing a server every 5 years and paying for the hardware upkeep. Instead, we sort of put all of the data up into Microsoft, and we still got to pay Microsoft, of course, but the feature set you get, the mobility and the sharing capabilities you get with this cloud hosted stuff is just second to none. It's stuff you can't really do on a file server. So again, reach out to support@belness.com. Thank you.